Imagine a time before history, before cities, before language, when survival was the only goal. 4 million years ago, our ancestors lived in a brutal, untamed world, filled with dangerous predators, shifting climates, and endless hunger. They had no fire, no weapons, no homes. And yet they survived. But how? What did life look like for them? And how did these ancient beings set the stage for modern humans? In this video, we travel back in time to uncover how early humans lived, adapted, and fought their way through one of the most savage periods in Earth's history. Asterisk. Earth, 4 million years ago, a savage environment. 4 million years ago, the planet looked very different. The African continent, where the story of humankind began, was a mix of dense forests and expanding grasslands. The climate was unpredictable. Rain would vanish for months, turning forests into dry plains. Food sources disappeared and returned with the seasons. Life was uncertain and survival was a daily test. Massive animals dominated the land. Giant hyenas, crocodiles the size of cars, and saber-toothed predators hunted freely. In this fierce wilderness, early human ancestors had to stay alert every moment of the day. The world belonged to the strong, the smart, and the lucky. Who were our ancestors? Among the creatures that lived during this time was a species called Australopithecus, afarensis, the ancestors of modern humans. These early hominins walked upright on two legs, which gave them an important evolutionary advantage. Their hands were free to carry food, children, and eventually tools. They were short in height, between 3.5 to 5 feet tall, with long arms suited for climbing trees. Their brains were small, about 1/3 the size of ours, but powerful enough to think, learn, and adapt. Fossils like the famous Lucy found in Ethiopia show us that these beings were incredibly well suited to their environment, flexible, fast, and fiercely determined. Asterisk. Deadly predators and constant fear. The greatest danger our ancestors faced was predators. They had no tools to defend themselves, no fire to keep animals away, and no shelters to hide in. Giant cats with blade-like teeth stalked the grasslands. Crocodiles lurked in rivers and lakes. Even large birds could attack small children left unprotected. To stay alive, early humans had to live in groups and rely on teamwork. At night, they climbed trees to sleep safely above the ground. During the day, they moved quietly, used natural camouflage, and relied on sharp senses to avoid becoming prey. Their survival depended not on strength, but awareness, agility, and social unity. Asterisk. Foraging. Food and daily survival. Food was never guaranteed. Our ancestors didn't hunt large animals. They weren't yet strong or smart enough for that. Instead, they were foragers. They searched the land for berries, fruits, nuts, roots, and edible plants. They used sharp rocks to break open seeds or dig for tubers buried underground. Sometimes they scavenged meat from animals already killed by predators, stealing scraps and bones while avoiding becoming the next meal themselves. Every day was a battle for calories. Every bite of food was a victory. They didn't eat for pleasure, they ate to survive. Asterisk. The importance of social bonds. Life in the wild was too dangerous to face alone. That's why early humans lived in groups, families, or small communities that helped one another. These early bonds were the beginning of human society. They groomed each other, shared food, and protected the young. Mothers looked after not just their own children, but others in the group. If someone got injured, the group didn't leave them behind. They helped them recover. These early behaviors were based on trust, care, and emotional connection, traits that still define humanity today. Social living made them stronger together than they could ever be alone. Asterisk. The birth of intelligence. Though their brains were smaller than ours, our ancestors were far from stupid. Over generations, they began to use basic tools like sharp-edged stones to cut food or sticks to dig. These early tools were a breakthrough. They allowed access to new food sources, helped in defense, and even sparked creativity. Even without spoken language, they learned by watching each other, copying behavior, and slowly passing on knowledge. This was the start of human intelligence, not in schools or books, but in the wild, through survival. Every lesson learned helped shape a smarter future. Asterisk. Adapting to a changing planet. Climate change isn't new. It has shaped humanity from the beginning. 4 million years ago, the Earth's weather was constantly shifting. Forests disappeared, grasslands stretched across the horizon, and water sources dried up. Our ancestors had no choice but to move across deserts, through forests, and along rivers. Migration became a way of life. Those who couldn't adapt perished, but those who did survived and passed on stronger genes. This constant movement made them tougher, more resilient, and more capable of handling new environments. Asterisk, the evolutionary legacy from Australopithecus, afarensis. Evolution continued. Over millions of years, this species gave rise to Homo habilis, the first toolmaker. Then came Homo erectus, who discovered fire and left Africa to explore the world. Eventually, Homo sapiens, modern humans, emerged. But it all began with those early ancestors who walked the land 4 million years ago. They didn't build cities or write books, but they started something far more important, the human journey. Without them, we wouldn't exist. Asterisk, final thoughts. The story lives in us. Everything you are, your hands, your eyes, your memory, your imagination was shaped by those who came before you. They fought to survive. They learned to adapt, and they passed their courage down through the ages. They didn't have fire, language, or technology, but they had strength, unity, and determination. Their lives were short and filled with danger, yet they overcame. Their story is not ancient history, it is your story. You are living proof of their success. Asterisk, thanks for watching this deep journey into the prehistoric world. If you enjoyed learning about how our ancestors lived and survived, please give this video a like, subscribe for more history and evolution content, and leave a comment below. Would you have survived in a world 4 million years ago? Let us know your thoughts, and remember, the strength of our ancestors still lives within us today.